All right, should be live. Um, let's see if this is up. Yep, it looks like audio should be good. So yeah, rare early stream. I have a couple pending things to deal with the MTP, and also a very bizarre TTY layer race condition, I guess. That I really bugged me when I was traveling with the M1 Pro. So I'm gonna look at that and see if I have time to do it because I have some stuff to do later today. So that's why it's a rare early stream. So make sure that everything is good. Hopefully, I don't know how many people are gonna come at this strange hour compared to my usual ones, but we'll see. So yeah, last time I did the U-Boot MTP driver, and the problem with that is that there is a hilarious hack to put the initialization messages back into the FIFO so Linux can find them when it starts its driver. That's fine, except now those messages come in regardless of whether the MTP is actually running or not. And then that means that if it's not running, it's going to time out when it tries to actually interact with it. And that's because there is a missing dependency in the Linux side. Um, Also, I'm in the wrong branch apparently. So there's a missing dependency here between this driver and not this one. Um, this driver, our ticket helper. And the way that's supposed to happen, so I already have this in the device tree. U-Boot does do this properly, by the way. The driver I wrote last time. So if I go MTP here, there is MTP hid has an Apple helper CPU MTP. So this is being ignored by Linux. I need to fix it to make it not do that. So that should be easy. But the way to do that, as far as I know, is with a thing called device link. Um, oh, by the way, I'm kind of like a bit sniffly today. Not sure if it's a mix of a cold and some of my allergies. So sorry if my voice is a bit weird. But yes, so we need a device link, which is a non-hierarchical dependency in the device tree, which is exactly what we have here. And then in the future, this will also help with runtime PM integration because we're going to need things like the MTP driver will go into standby, put some things into standby, then the RTKit helper driver will quiesce the processor stuff. Yeah, all that's going to make sense when we get to system sleep. 10 viewers, not bad. Um, so also hopefully chat actually works because Lena had some trouble last time with that. Let me just double check. Okay. Um, After device has been called on the supplier and device has been called for the consumer. Okay. Yeah, so you just call device link out, you get a device link, you set the flags. So the trick is I need to first get the supplier, and the supplier needs to actually be bound to the driver by then. So I need something from the device tree APIs to fetch this p handle and find that device, make sure its driver has actually probed, and then I can add the link. Am I basing my kernel Linux next mainline or stable? RCs. Right now, it's stable because we just rebased on the stable 519. But I do track RCs. At least that's what I'm doing right now. Not always every single RC, but I try. Especially now that Linus is using it. So it used to be Linux Next like at the very beginning, but we stopped doing that. Okay, so yeah, the device sync stuff is easy. But first I need to get the open firmware stuff going. So what's the right API for that? Include Linux OF, was it? Actually, just do a p handles. Should get us some of that. Yeah, so I know I can parse p handle with args. But what I actually want is to then get a there's find node by p handle, all that. But I actually then need to get a device for that device node. I'm not sure how I do that. It should be pretty easy to get some examples for that, though. Adapter node. Let's see what that does. Oh, there's a specific get I2C adapter by node. Well, that will probably tell me what I need, though. Right, you want to also get a module get to... Does device thing do module gets? That's a good question, actually. You'd think so, but I guess we'll find out. You can look at the module reference counts, which is another thing, by the way. Like, I know we have missing module ref counting like all over the place, because like almost every developer works with module like monolithic kernels, and like when I first built everything as a module and shipped it to people for the very first half of release, I had to fix so many modules. Like some things didn't even build as a module. So I like there's definitely a bunch of cases where you can unload a module and panic your kernel, and that all needs to be fixed. It's not a huge deal in practice because most users will not be unloading modules, but yeah, no, that's definitely broken. Bus find device. Is that how I do it? But that's for I2C buses though, so that's not what I want. Okay, what's up? It's something. Look at something that's not a standard. Is backlight a bus? Also, I should get myself some music. There we go. That's better now. Just for me, not for you, as usual. Class find device. Yeah, again, it's not exactly class what I want because this is just like, I mean, this is it's a platform device, right? It's a SOC. It's a platform driver, so it's not exactly a class. Let's see if I can find a better example. Yeah, I guess there's like all the power domain stuff. Not memory regions. I'm looking for something that is like, yeah, remote proc, but then again, that's probably going to go through really some dedicated API there. What's the right way of doing this? It's probably a find. What is there? Oh, find compatible node. Find node by path. Is that find device? Find device by node. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Thank you very much. Yay for guessing function names. Okay. Yes, and that gives me a platform device, which is exactly what I want. Give it a device node. Okay, so then I need to match the p handle for that. Node, OF parse p handle. Yep. There's no args, so just parse p handle should do it. And the prototype for that is apparently you got a package. There we go. P handle name index. Oh right. Yeah, but we don't. We do get the ref count incremented on that. That's another thing is I have my doubts so the OF ref counting is done properly. See, this is the kind of thing that Rust helps with. All right. Let's go to the doc channel, not doc channel, the hit driver here. And so in the probe function, hit probe. Yeah, so this is doing the so I can OF parse p handle, device node, p handle name. That's what I called it, I think. Yep, Apple helper CPU 0. No index on that. Let's get the helper. Helper pdev, and so now I should be able to just OF, what was that called? Oh, find device by node. What I don't know is whether this will find devices that haven't probed or not, because I think you still get device nodes, like device entries for unprobed devices. Not 100% sure. This will just fail if we can't find the helper at all. There's no dev. Pdev dev. And this will be what? Inval or something. Or enodev. I guess it works. But once we have the device, helper pdev equals, so find device by node, helper, and I should be able to just OF node put at that point, because I don't care about the node, as long as the device exists. That's another question, is what about races here? I guess I need the... I mean, once I add the device link, we're fine. But yeah, I mean... Okay, so let me see who uses that. Kind of curious how other things deal with it. Yeah, so parse p handle just grabs that. Parse device by node, fails to find pass foreign device. So yeah, so the question is now, is this going to work for devices that haven't probed? Let's see what happens if I just break it on purpose. Helper pdev. Okay, so let's give it an error for now. mean, just kind of ignore the rest. I just want to see if it goes that far. Actually, we can add the device link. So I'm going to need the device link in my structure here. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So I guess we make sure everything else is done. Allocate things. Also, I need to OF node put in here. Probably do that as soon as I get here. And then device link add, which I want to do. Yeah, so basically, as long as I do it here, I'm good. Because I'm not waiting for packets yet. And everything's going to start moving once I wait for packets. Device link add. Consumer is dev. Produce supplier is helper dev. The flags. Let's see. Yes, I do want runtime PM to consider this. And probably RPM active. This is going to matter more once the sleep stuff is working. And then there is an auto remove, which is nice, because then when the consumer device driver unbinds from it, it will automatically remove this, which is exactly what I want. So that means I don't even have to remove it. Excellent. Supplier device is required to be registered. Consumer device need not be registered. Well, it is going to be registered because we got it anyway. Can I just say that like kernel documentation is terrible about documenting return values? Also, why is Spotify like putting the why is it putting the notifications here? Oh right, I should just hold on, just one sec. Should have muted that. Should be good now. Yeah, it doesn't. I say just like kernel documentation is terrible about documenting where the return values are like just null or the pointer error stuff. In this case, it mentions null would be returned, but you know, like there's no like return value section that literally tells me it's either null or not, or whether it's also could be a pointer error. Okay, so yeah, the question is what happens if this is not probed yet? I think the anchor device, dev or something. Actually, this is the cleanup here isn't even done properly, but I need to figure out how to do that. Please allocate anything. Yeah, they allocate the interfaces. Well, I mean, yeah, again, there's no like proper cleanup on this driver at all because we don't even know how to rebind, so it's all kind of dodgy. Basically, this has to do the same thing U-boot does with the initialization messages to make it rebindable. So we'll punt on that for now, but at least I will need to make sure this dependency gets fixed. Okay, can I compile this? Great. Looks like C cache isn't primed, so this is going to take a while to compile. Um, Yay. So while that compiles, I can tell you about the other problem, which is that uh, when I was working on my M1 Pro laptop that I was taking while traveling, and I was working on that and using an M2 laptop as a target because I was that was when we released the M2 support. My hypervisor kept crashing or hanging at random times, and that had not happened when I was developing the M2 stuff at home on an Intel host machine. And it got so bad that like I couldn't boot the target OS. Like it would always hang at a weird place. And I spent hours debugging it, thinking, okay, it must be a bug in my hypervisor. Then thinking, okay, it must be a bug in Mini. Then thinking, okay, it must be a bug in like the USB driver somehow or some kind of interrupt thing. And then thinking, okay, it must be a bug in. And I got down to the TTY layer. I can reproduce it very easily with by running read mem on the target, like the read mem mini operation on the target with a specific length, or I think any range. There's a range of lengths that's going to work, and sometimes it just hangs. And what actually happens is that the the read, the data coming back from the target spans two USB packets, and the Python only sees the first packet. The second packet of data just doesn't arrive, but it does arrive if the target sends more data later. So it just sticks in limbo and doesn't get pushed into the TTY layer. And after I got this far, I started suspecting issues with the TTY layer, but I didn't want to rebuild my whole kernel because that's part of the kernel core. So I tried just hacking the CDC driver, the USB driver, to push the there's a function for like pushing the buffer in the TTY layer, and I just called it twice with a memory barrier in between, and that fixed it. So this is all looking like there is a nasty race condition deep in the Linux TTY layer, which very possibly has been there for like a decade, and nobody has noticed because it probably, I bet, only triggers on CPUs that have ridiculously wide out of order execution, like the M1. These CPUs are very good at finding, bugs that have always been there, but other CPUs just don't trigger. Uh, so, yeah, as soon as I get this helper stuff fixed, I'm gonna look at that, and because I did look briefly at the TTY layer, and there's like one of the files in the core is full of atomics and atomic operations, and I was just like, okay, there has to be a bug here, like it's not even standard mutaccessor stuff. It's like all this like um open coded atomics code, and I'm just thinking, okay, I there has to be an ordering acquire release violation somewhere in here. Now, how hard that is going to be to find slash debug, I have no idea. So we're going to find out. Might not finish today if it gets annoying. Might be a 15-minute thing. If it's yeah, we'll see. But yeah. I thought it could be a bug in my interrupt controller driver. like IPA stuff. But then I reread that code again and thought it was broken, and then read it again and convinced myself it wasn't, and then talked to Maz, and he was like, "Yeah, we talked about at the time, and we both think it's good." So yeah, that also has some interesting atomics and ordering stuff. But I spent like 2 weeks proving to myself that the way we are doing the interrupt controller stuff is kosher. So I'm going to trust that for now, especially because nothing else is broken. Um, and I'm guessing it's a TTY layer problem. Ah, oops. Uh, did that go away? Or do I need a header? I need Linux. Oh, I see. We have different things now. Was I looking at an? Oh, I was looking at an old. Consumer fails to probe. I mean, person supplier fails to probe or later unbinds. Right. So auto remove consumer makes sense. Okay. Yeah, we do want an RPM active, and then auto remove consumer. We do want. So in that case, we can actually. In that case, we can actually move this higher up because it will clear things for us. And that way, we don't even initialize anything until we have the helper. Um. Ba, 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 ba. Yes, our person managed device thinks the cost programming the consumer to be different. Yes. So how do I? But I need to return that somehow, right? So okay, so device thing depends on the driver instance dependency and the consumer's protocol where the supplier hasn't started probably had the driver core known of the device link earlier. Right. Uh not sure of that. Anyway, I'll test this empirically. Let's build again. Okay, at least there was everything else built, so that's good. And this is plugged into my M2. Let's go through the hypervisor, because why not? Proxy client. And I do have 99 script for Linux now. Tools, run guest kernel. Yeah, but not U-boot in this case. Dot dot. Don't I have one that actually runs Linux with this? Yeah, that. So let's see what happens with that. Oh, that did not work at all. Um, hypercall? Oh, that's just the like crash thing. Uh, null pointer deref? Here we go with the funny bugs. That's mini. Oh wait, no, it is Linux. Yeah. Um, Sterling? Sterling? Is this a device tree thing? No, it shouldn't. What? Okay, hold on. Let me try that again. Get an actual backtrace. Did I regress something? I need to subtract these from the base. I should print the base there, but at least I can do this. 90C. Is that a thing? Let's just reboot. I should add a thing for the backtraces and because this is now using symbols for the kernel, not for mini. I should do something so it actually knows mini symbols, but I don't have that right now. Where are we? Let's pick something in the middle here. 4010. No, that's like the exception vector or something. Yeah. 19144. 19144. Payload run. So it's trading at payload run, and then it goes into the exception. I have no idea what's going on here. Also, it was Sterling. Isvar. Expect compatible. That should be valid. It's probably inline though. Okay, this is weird. Is it because wait? Hold on. Do I have a stupid patch here? Yeah, right. I have a bunch of dumb things in here that I haven't committed yet. Hold on. When I was testing U-boot. I don't want this chosen thing yet. Oh, wait. gzip. Yeah, no, it should be gz, though, so that's fine. I think that's fine. Let me just try that again. Okay, yeah, it was the chain load thing, which is interesting that failed. So okay. Either way, yeah, I have to look at what happened there. RTKit helper, yeah, that runs. The touchpad does not work. I broke that. Doc channel head. Oh, nothing there. Okay, I'll be right back. Just give me a second. Back. And also, my script here kind of died. 1 sec. Yeah, there we go. That's more like it. Sorry, just OBS shenanigans. All right, so let's see what happened here. Oddly enough, oh yeah, failed to link the helper device. Null device star. Okay, that's broken. Because it hasn't probed yet, so that's actually what I want. But hold on. Don't have to have the helper device. Oh, because it's not set there. Yeah, pdev dev. That would explain that. Well, I mean, I can just set it. But then okay, so then then this is exactly what I want, right? So we know it does find the helper device that does not link to it. So how do I? Device link add. Yeah, I guess if that returns null, then it's just deferred time. I don't know if there's a better way of doing that. It just does if not device link add. Um. Oh, there's an IMMU one there. Oh, the stream stuff. Yeah, those were kind of special. Not the Gen PDs. I want. Oh, that one. No, those are PD devs. The PD devs are kind of special. Yeah, those are all PD devs. It just says E and val. But how do I probe defer when that's not ready? Um, See, I need to understand this sentence, right? It's valid to create a link from the consumer's probe color while the supplier is still probing, but the consumer must know that the supplier is functional already at the link creation time. So how is it function? It's still probing but functional. So it means that the probe function has not returned, but the supplier is already working, I guess. Let's see what the source code for the driver core here does. There's a device PM initialized and stuff. Um, can I use that? Not exactly that though. Device, not device PM initialized exactly. Like something to see if it's probed. But I know that this is already a thing with like the backlight class. Let's see how the backlight class does it. Because I know that we'll keep actually even GPIOs will do that. But I think backlights will add the OF backlight whatever. Yeah, DRM panel OF backlight might do that. OF backlight. Yeah. Dev OF find backlight panel dev returns pointer error, which should be probe defer if it doesn't find it. I hope. Right. So if it doesn't find the backlight by node, then it returns eprobe defer. And in this case, it's doing a class find device. Which isn't exactly what I want. Because that's after it already probes. I guess I can just do that here. I'm not sure if anything else makes sense. Yeah, let's just go with that. And so hopefully we will actually see that doing the right thing in the right order now. Okay, it's in there. Does the touchpad work? No, it does not. What went wrong there? Dock channel hid. Wait, isn't that what I just had before? Oh, I didn't build Linux. Still doesn't work. Okay, that didn't. That looks like it didn't work at all. So is it always deferring? I'm also going to just identify the helper here to make sure that actually makes sense. Let's try that again. Okay. Yeah, it's deferring all the time. We do have the helper, so the device link is not getting added for some other reason. um, oh, that is right. Also, why am I doing that? Doesn't make any sense. You just say dev there. Okay, so why is device link add not working after the helper has in fact probed? Let's get debug in that and try that again. PM runtime get sync failed. Is it because the RTicket helper thing doesn't support runtime PM yet? Probably. Maybe I can just ignore those for now. and add that later when we support sleep and all that. Yeah, let's leave that for later when like actually sleep works and all this actually is useful. What exactly is the problem? That I was passing flags that request something that isn't actually getting enabled by the supplier device. Unless you mean what I'm fixing right now in general, that I have a dependency between two devices that is not actually expressed, so that if one probes too early, it's not going to work. It works now. Okay, so let's look at the messages now. See if okay, that didn't work because our ticket helper. Okay, so the device link adds, and it's still not probed. So that's still not quite there. So in that case, this might as well be a hard error in this case, at least right now. But then I also need to actually check to see if that has been probed. How do I do that? Yeah, so after adding the link, defer probing a non-presence, yes. So how do I do that? Is there like a device has probed or something like that? device is something. Is there a thing? Oh, if device is available, that could be interesting. That sounds interesting. That might be what I want, actually. Uh, and then I don't even have to wait for the device link. I can just... Oh, no, that just checks the device tree for OK or whatever. Yeah, that's not useful. Device is bound. Is that what I want? I don't know if that's the right thing to do. That doesn't look right, but... It does check if it's bound. There's driver bound. Yeah, finished probing successfully against the driver, so that should actually work. Must be called with the device lock held. Ah, yeah. Does OF find device by node get the device? Does that get the device? I would hope so. Just kind of logically. Yes, it does do get device. So I need to put device here. So then that is fine. So then where was I? The where was that? Is bound? Yeah, device is bound. it's not bound, then we can just, was it get device get or get device? Get device. Okay, put device. Hopefully this is the right reference counting. Okay. And then after we create the device link, we can just put the device, because the device link hopefully keeps that alive. Actually, you might as well do the kmalk before, because that all gets cleaned up automatically anyway. Because devm takes care of that. So we can do that first and not worry about the cleanup. Let's just this deferred true. I don't use that. Put child, return eprobe, defer. So put it there. If it's eprobe, defer, return eprobe, defer, else. Actually, yeah, if we fail getting an GPA, I might as well fail probing, but it's okay to fail a bit. Like, not these GPIs aren't always required, strictly speaking. So it's okay to do it like that, but we don't need that defer thing. Okay, let's give that a shot. We tried healing at the device until it works. If only that worked. I think that worked. Yep, that worked. And so in here, interface keyword is now ready. Multi-touch, STM, initializing. Yep, I'm mu0. Yeah, so I got the helper, and then it didn't actually probe. And then after that, this helper did probe. Then after that, it actually, yeah, okay, so this works. This is doing what I wanted to do. We'll see about cleanup and other stuff later, but this fixes the stupid race. So, and then also I should be able to is bus platform devices. Is there a doc channel here? Yeah, that. So So we have the input. There's a consumer for that. Yeah, supplier, MTP, IMMU, and FIFO. So there's 3 device links involved here. This one's for the interrupt controller for the dock channel. That's for the IMMU, and then this is the one I just added for the RTKit stuff. So I'm going to call that done for now, at least it fixes the immediate problem. So let me do a quick commit and release to the dev channel at least. And get rid of the helper print. Obviously, you don't need that. The TTY problem, but after this, let me commit this. Hey, Dreamer. Wait, are you awake at like 5 a.m. or are you not in Europe anymore? Okay, let me get the right prefix for this. Is this going to get dock channel hid? Yeah, whatever. Awake at 5 a.m. Consulate. Oh, consulate appointment. Right. Good luck with that. Hope everything goes well. Okay, that should work. Check out. Let's put this in the right place. And bits. Spy hid. It's not spy, but. Yeah, that should do it. Let's do a merge. And then I can email Linus and tell him that the potential, we don't know, race condition is fixed. Cool, that worked. I'm just going to go ahead and tag it and push it because I'm confident enough because, you know, that always goes great. Tag dash S Asahi, that's the bootloader of this one. 519.2, I think is what this one is. Asahi push. Also, I think there's a remote branch that needs to be removed. I noticed the other day. I think the kernel robot was complaining about that. Also, this is Linus's tree, which I guess, yeah, it's a lot of stuff is getting merged right now, but I think there's no tags yet. Yeah, just throw all this master. I'm not going to quite. I don't know why it does this sometimes lately. It's been oops, and I messed up the key. The GPG key stuff, GPG card stuff is being annoying me lately. Bits. I think there's, or there isn't. No, maybe there isn't. I thought I had a. I thought I had a bad branch, but maybe it's in someone else's tree. Why does it keep doing that? I think it's something PCSCD. Yeah, no, whatever. Push origin. Is that the branch name? Oh, come on. Okay, let me, and now it's going to want that again. Or not. Oh, this time I didn't want it. Interesting. Maybe it's something with the way I have a config for GitHub or something. Okay. Kernels are big. So yeah, the TTY problem. We'll see how bad that is. I have no idea how long that's going to take to debug. So many things could go wrong there. We can do that. No, we can't really do it while it compiles because this is the target machine. That's going to be the. I need 3 machines now, right? I need my Intel development machine, this M1 Pro that is the one that was having the issue, and then talking to an M2 or something for yeah. It's gonna get fun. Okay, let's build this. Let's actually commit this. Might as well push that. And now, because I forgot that shit. I still don't know why. Oh, now it did ask for that. I still don't know why it keeps resetting the screen size. I think that's a new console miss feature. See, now I didn't ask for it. Okay. Let's just make package. And as you can see, it compiles a lot faster on this M1 Pro than on my host, even though this is going to be a kernel with a lot more drivers. I really love these machines. They're fast. Okay, so that's that. Now the TTY problem. Wow, that builds. So I guess I'm going to leave the M2 on top for now, briefly. I am going to plug it in, though. I don't need that to be the target anymore, so I can swap my testing cable. And instead, I can plug in the M2 to the M1 Pro, use it as a test target. I should do that. So let me find the actual problem. And I really hope this still happens with builds done on my host here, because if it doesn't, it's going to really suck. Also, same with the hypervisor. If it doesn't happen in the hypervisor, it's going to really suck. Drivers, TTY, actually drivers, USB. So the class, yeah. So if I remember correctly, the hack is TTY flip buffer push. If I remember correctly, this fixed the that works around the problem. So I think there's a race condition in TTY flip buffer push. It's not about this function running concurrently because it doesn't. And that wouldn't make any sense either, because it would mean the packets can arrive out of order, which they can't. So it's not. I don't think it's this driver misusing the TTY layer. I think it's the TTY layer having because it happens when. So specifically, what happens is that if Python reads, so the two USB packets come in. If Python reads the first USB, like issues a specifically a select and a read when the first packet is in, but not the second packet, then the next time Python does a select, it doesn't get a pull notification that there is data available, even if the second packet has come in later. So I think there is a race between reading, like consuming from the TTY and pushing into the TTY. And it doesn't happen on Intel. Still building. It should take about 4 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. So it shouldn't be very long. So yeah, the question here is going to be: is this actually going to work? Is this going to reproduce with this kernel instead of the one that I built on the target, and without modules, and is it going to reproduce with a hypervisor? Lots of things could be painful here. And while that builds, let me look at the TTY core. You'll see what I mean. Drivers, TTY. What was some stuff for TTY on disk, TTY IO? I forget which one it was, but IO? That might be L disk. Or port. Or buffer. I think it was buffer, actually. Yeah. Like, SMP load acquire atomic deck. There's yes. I mean, someone tried to document it at least. So, it's. But yeah, there's some like lock-free stuff going on here, and I have a strong suspicion that something is done wrong in this somewhere around here. Oh, whoa, device. Oh, that's not exported? Ah, crap. That I thought I saw. Did that get rejected? Okay, that kind of sucks. Uh, there's something that calls it that we can use. Or can I just look at the device link? Can I use the device link to figure this out? Okay, yeah, basically this is what I want. In that case, I can just say autoprobe consumer, and then it might actually help the probing happen immediately after the supplier is present, which is possibly a good idea. Yeah, so if it's dormant, also that should be uppercase. Let's see if that actually builds at least. This is C cache, that's why it's fast now, by the way. Okay, let me try that again. Right, I moved to the thing already. Reboot that. Now it's broken again. Failed to link the helper device. Oh, does auto remove consumer also break that now? Auto pro consumer? Is that what does that? Oh wait, if stateless are not set. Oh right, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Because we are setting a persistent link. I think we don't really need that. Because the defer probe stuff is going to take care of it anyway. Okay, now it works. Yeah, so you can see it starts doing things right after our ticket helper has probed, and syslog's coming later, so it's normal for this to be interleaved. But in this case, it doesn't matter because the U-boot isn't starting things ahead of time anyway. But specific... Actually, wait. Oh, also, apparently I have a typo. Interface. Oh, no, wait, that didn't work. That probed way too quickly before. Oh, wait, no, but that might be fine. No, but adding to IMMU group... No, it's before probe. Hold on. Our ticket helper in probe will do the wake and boot. Does that actually wait for the boot to complete? Oh, yeah, no, it does. It does call boot and boot. It does wait for completion, so that is actually fine. Let's just print some stuff here, make sure this actually makes sense. Helper probe. Probe defer. Okay, let me try that again. Okay, let's see what we have. It claims our ticket is ready. I don't think it is, because it hasn't probed yet. So what's up with that? What state is the device link in? It's funny how you end up spending more time, like, fighting with kernel APIs than actually figuring out the hardware sometimes. Ready 2? Okay, what's state 2? Available? No, consumer probe. Well, yes, it would be, but that claims the supplier driver is ready, which it isn't. Okay, that does not... That does not look right. How do I check for the presence if I can't... Yes, I saw that, but what is that? Where is devlinks info? But that's a different thing, though. That's device data related to device links. So that's not what I want. Oh, wow, this one actually checks for that. Oh, God. Is that really... I mean, yes, but... is there anything that calls that doesn't, like, it checks for that? No, that I can use to do something more useful. Init status, supplier probing, driver bound on, but default is dormant. I don't know why this shows up in. Hold on. Device link add. Yeah, okay, so that's the case. If they're both probing, it goes to consumer probe. Uh, this is probably gonna get yak shaved during submission, but let's try that. Yeah, it works at least. Okay, let's go back up. Probe okay, now it actually defers. That's good. And then after our ticket helper is probed, then this checks. Okay, let's say that works. I can fix that up later. I don't need the braces there. And I don't need that. Let's crush that in a second. And also, that should be a fixup. Sure. That's a fixup also. Stash. It's just that, right? Yeah. Let's call that 519.3. Okay. This is not pushed yet, so I'm just going to skip that. Huh. Okay, let's try that. Hopefully that compiles. Oh, actually, yeah. I need to fix that. Okay. Wanting to use Rust to encourage OSS contributions? I don't have to encourage OSS contributions, but more like uh, there are some drivers that would make sense in Rust, I think, for the things we're working on. Like Rust has much better meta programming than C. And so, for example, there's a DCP driver which needs to handle multiple firmware versions, and it doesn't right now. That might make sense to start using Rust in. And then also, of course, if we start using Rust, I will also sort of encourage people to, take it seriously. But it's not upstream yet, so I'm not sure. Like, I mean, it's starting to sound like it's really going to go upstream pretty soon, but also the sept driver might be interesting to write in Rust, just sort of from a security perspective. There's also that, by the way, but yeah, Mac Audio, that's different, yeah. That needs to be fixed too. Yes. Go back to the TTY stuff and also build this locally. So make sure this actually has the device link done properly. Bus platform devices FIFO. Yeah, there it is. MTP. Well, that shouldn't be 1024 bytes. I think is this, yeah, frame warrant 1024. I think that's not supposed to be 1024, so I think that's wrong. I should fix that. It only matters for compilation anyway, so this was set to what's the default for that? Where is that kconfig? Oh, it's 2K now for 64-bit. So that's probably because this config came from a 32-bit config originally. So yeah, it is set to 2K in my local one. So let's set this to 2K. And I don't need to actually stop the build process because that's only a build time thing, so I don't actually care. But for the future, almost done. There we go. How many people do we have? 26? Yeah, not bad for rando stream. Okay, let's sign those. Put that into dev. And then update this. Make sure it boots standalone with like the grub stuff. Because that's kind of why I did this in the first place. Oh, 404? Oh, is it because... oh, yeah, that's because it was still syncing. Wait. Did it actually get it, though? Yeah, it did. I guess it just retried? I think I just did something dumb, but... Let's just reinstall that. Should probably also have a module dependency on that, by the way. But oh yeah, that's another thing. Let's look at the module ref counts and see if it makes sense. So let's reboot that, and then I can kill that, and hopefully it'll boot normally. All right, then it went to the JP mirror, which was also on the list, I think. So that's why it worked. Okay, it's doing a standalone boot now, which you won't see anything of, but let's see if yeah, the keyboard works in grub, and it works in Linux. Let me just check that it's insane. Yep, I get the IOMMU thing, but it hasn't probed yet. Yep, that looks like it works. Just kind of judging by the message. Sorry, I'm doing it like directly on the laptop. I'm kind of curious about the module use count. So we have so our ticket helper still has module use count 0, so that's obviously wrong. Dock channel is being used. Dock channel hid is not. I mean, removing this is going to break anyway, but yeah, I need to add a module dependency on that because unless the device link will remove. What happens on supplier unbind? Okay, consumers that are bound are freed from their driver. Okay, so then it should work. It should just make the consumer unbind if you try to unbind that. Yeah, probably going to be some fireworks anyway, but that's something. All the module ref count stuff is something I need to deal with later. So for now, we're going to call this done. And it's pushed. Make sure the package builds are pushed. Yeah. Make sure that didn't do anything dumb. Yeah, that was Asahi too, but whatever. I just skipped that. Okay, that's that done. So now the TTY nonsense. What I'm going to do is first plug everything in. I don't remember if this one is in verbose mode. I think it is. Well, let's find out. I can just do that. Reboot this. Might not be. That means I have to do that. One sec. Juggling laptops here. So in case you don't know, there's sort of backdoor debug mode in the Asahi as we ship the bootloader. If you go into recovery mode and disable SIP, like csrutil disable, on macOS that would disable a bunch of security stuff. For us, that if you do that and then set the boot to verbose mode, set the boot args to -V, it will add a 5-second timeout during boot, during which you can actually attach the proxy via USB and take over. So I'm just doing that now. That should do it. So I'm going to let it boot, and we should get the console now, the secondary terminal attaching. And you need to authenticate to do that, of course, which is why this is secure. It's the same thing as setting a new bootloader. Yeah, there we go. See, connected. So I can put that back, plug in the other machine. Okay, so we got that, and now let's see if I can reproduce the. Oh, this is gonna. This is. I'm scared of how bad this is gonna be to reproduce. Go here. I think it's P7 on this machine. I'm not sure. I might be wrong about the about that, but let's see. Nope, it's not P7. It used to be P7. And we have... Oh, I have a lot of P's now. I forgot which one is the one that this is supposed to boot from. It would be either P10 or P8. If I installed Mini last, it would be P8. Let me just try a couple. Because I did reinstall this. I think I left some space in there, so it might be P8. Nope. Or it might be one of the earlier ones. If it went in the regular order, it'd be one for one for the regular stuff, two for macOS, and 3, 4, so it might be 5. Should just let it boot and then find out. Okay, got something. I don't know if this is the right one or not because I have 2 installs here, but I think, and that's it. Am I in the right thing, Git? Git, yes. Because I did copy that. Okay, this is the right one. Okay. So yeah, let me reproduce the problem. Git mini proxy client experiments crack me. No, that was the Hackit thing. Experiments. What was that called? And also my... Oh, that. Yes, so that fails. After a while. So now the other machine is not started. Wait. Oh, that's just the log. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Why didn't that probe? That should be... Why isn't it enumerating? Maybe I should use like C to A cable to stop it from flipping modes all the time, because that probably... Yeah, but it's not enumerating. Why is it not enumerating? Is this a charge-only cable? I mean, it is a charging cable, but I thought these all had USB 2 pins on them. 1 sec. Let me find a different way of plugging this in. Let's try that cable. Still not enumerating. Why? Yeah, now USB... Wait. Is this port broken? I wonder if like the third USB port is broken for some reason. Oh. Well, that's new. That port isn't working properly, and now I don't know if it's because of something I did. Ooh, host controller died. Let's reboot that just to see if that was a fluke or if I have something wrong in... This is T6001J314, either S or C. S, which is T6000. Okay, now it works. So for some reason, it just got into a weird state, but I thought I had the reset quirk thing figured out, so... I might have to annoy Sven about that. Because I think that is all set correctly, unless something weird is here. What was that? Die X? Let me just sanity check this to make sure there's nothing dumb here. ATC1 USB, ATC2 USB. Yeah, that's right. Power domains should be right. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but that's something worth investigating later. Wait, new high. Yeah. Uh, is it finding the device and like not? Oh, the driver is probably not built. I'm guessing. Um, hold on. Yeah, probably. I don't see ACM. No. Okay, that's why. Yes. Okay, that would explain why. I wasn't seeing that. I'm also getting a bit annoyed by this booting every time I don't have the proxy thing, so I'm going to actually go ahead and install an actual like mini only target on this. Which is going to take a little bit of time over Wi-Fi. Do I want to do that now? Actually, I'm just going to break it by moving the boot file out. Just temporarily. And then it'll always fall back into proxy mode. Anyway, yeah, okay, so now we have ACM devices. I should also set this to auto login. I did have that in old, was it Prev or what was it called? Yeah, let's see, systemd, system, this is, the console is so broken. That. Yes, auto login root. Root or Markan? For this, I kind of want Markan. Doesn't actually matter though. Could be both. Yeah, I guess might as well do it as root. Yeah, let's put this in here. Home doesn't work. And let me do what I said about forcing the other device to always fail to boot. Okay, that should do that. So, Asahi gate mini proxy client experiments reader py python. Oh, that what? See, now it works. This is great. Unless this is a regression that was fixed in a recent update. Because that's obviously working now. Okay. Does it work without the proxy? It is possible this got fixed in, upstream somewhere. I hate that. Oh, and Ethernet's not plugged in. That wouldn't help. Okay, I need to reboot this. So on this machine, the kernel is 5.19.0 Asahi 1, which is pretty much the same thing. Oh, yes, see, it hangs. Okay, this is gonna suck now because obviously I can reproduce this with the local build and not with the remote build. Yay. Is this gonna be a hypervisor thing? This is gonna be real painful if I can't repro it under the hypervisor. Okay, does it work with the kernel I built on my host without the hypervisor? The thing is, the hypervisor emulates in interprocessor interrupts. So, for example, if it had something to do with that, it would make sense for it to affect it. So instead of tools run guest kernel, I can just do tools Linux py, and that was This is T6000J314S.dtb. I do need some init ramfs, probably. And so now what I am going to have is 1 second, let me find some TTY device. Where is this running? I have too many consoles open in other random windows and stuff. Okay, I should have a serial console now. Let's see if that works. That was supposed to happen? Yes. Okay, autoboot works. Marcan Asahi Git mini proxy client experiments reader. So broken. Oh, okay, that works. So then is this a kernel config thing? Is something about the Arch Linux config make it fail? Make sure it's not just the serializing things. Or a compiler difference. That would also suck. No, that's working fine. At least, potentially, it's not the hypervisor causing the problem. The problem is that this now becomes a diffing kernel configs issue. And that's going to take a while to do. It's going to take a while to do, and it's not going to be very interesting until I can reproduce this with the kernel I can mess around with. Because I don't want to have to be installing modules every time. And it's a good reason to do what Linus says said that Arch needed, the install kernel stuff to work, but that's too many yaks to shave right now because I do have some stuff to do a bit later. And I'm not going to get to that on time. I was kind of hoping it would just reproduce with the kernel I have in my host machine here. But yeah, bisecting kernel configs is a pain in the ass. It could be a debug thing, it could be a compiler thing. Could even just be the fact that the thing is built as a module and that changes, you know, like the layout. Could be a GCC version issue. This is 12.10. What I have here is 11.30, so it could be a GCC regression for all I know. Okay, let's do one thing, just to eliminate the compiler, because we know it reproduces on the machine, and because that's a modules build, I can't easily transfer that over to the host. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to put my host Linux tree, which I and just git pull that. And of course, this is need to fix this pin cache or whatever is causing that. So I'm going to just build the same tree on the host. Copy it out, I guess. Or even just copy it to the boot partition. So let's get the same config I have on the host here. Which I think is the same. I haven't changed anything here. Yeah, I guess that's the directory. It says make clean. This, give it 11. This should build pretty fast because it doesn't have all the modules. Oh, and apparently oh, that's because of the GCC plugins and stuff. Yeah. Should build relatively fast because this config doesn't have a lot of plugins. Sorry, a lot of modules and drivers. Because if this reproduces, there's a very good chance, especially if this reproduces and then I copy it out and it still reproduces with like loaded from the host the same way I just did, that's starting to smell like a compiler bug. Or it could be a Linux bug that is triggered by a compiler change. But either way, that's a very important distinction. And I could do things like compile just the TTY layer with a different compiler and see if that fixes it, and then like diff the binaries and see what changed. But yeah, that's probably going to be a long enough ordeal that I should wait for some other time to do it. Maybe tonight, depending on how things go. But let's at least try this. Let's at least try the exact tree that... wait, I did have that... yeah, it's if def out, so the workaround is not enabled. Oh. Oh, yeah, sorry. I always forget that. There's always this thing that gets stuck in there. I don't know where that comes from. It's not, like it somehow just seems to like leak into all my Linux trees. It tries to build in the Intel microcode. Yeah, it's built. So let's try installing that as the main kernel. Why not try Clang to see what happens? Because that's definitely going to change too many things to give me any information. Because if there's a bug in the kernel, changing that is like subtly related to atomics and stuff, then changing the compiler has a high chance of changing that anyway. So what do I? So the way this works is boot Linux Asahi. How? You see what does make install? What does that do these days? It does install it. Um, but it found the Arch Linux one first, which is not what I want. How do I make it prefer that? Let's just cheat for now. Yeah. I think that should boot for the same reason it boots directly. Shouldn't really make a difference. It's going to pass the init manifest. The modules aren't going to work. That's fine because everything's built in theory. Let's see if it boots. So we're going to start. I'm getting the feeling it's not booting. I think that didn't work. Let's see. Let me actually look at the screen. But yeah, that doesn't look like it worked. Oh wait, no, is it just because the proxy? Oh no, it's just because the proxy's connecting. Yeah. Let's reboot that. Did it actually boot? Yeah, it booted. Complained about some things, but it's there. Let's go in there, see if it reproduces. And need to reboot the target. Or at least plug it into a different port. Oh. It doesn't reproduce. Well, then, yeah, we're into bisecting kernel configs territory, which is definitely not going to be something that takes 15 minutes. So I think I'm going to call it for now, and I'll be back next time. And see if I can, yeah, because this is going to take a while. This is going to take hours to figure out, and I don't have hours right now. So yeah, thanks for coming. That was interesting that it doesn't reproduce with this. So it's going to be something for a bit later. Thanks for coming, and yeah, see you next time. By the way, other than this TTY thing, the what's coming up is loading firmware for the USB controllers in the Mac Studio and the iMacs, which has been on my list for a while, and Max kind of wants it. Then Wi-Fi tracer, which I already started working on, a little bit of the PCIe side, so I can figure out some Wi-Fi issues and the Bluetooth coexistence stuff. And then sleep, because once I get the Wi-Fi tracer working, that's going to help figure out how to get that to go into sleep mode properly. And that's one of the last things we need to get basic sleep working. So that's kind of the plan right now. So yeah, thanks for coming. I'll tackle the this TTY thing a bit later when I find some a nice slot. Maybe tonight, we'll see. So yeah, thanks for coming, and I'll see you next time. Bye.